So there's a hot rumor swirling around regarding of Grand Theft Auto 6 that actually will be running at 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 5 Pro, but only on 30 FPS on the base PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Now, it comes from a leaker known as Detective Seeds, who claims Sony and Rockstar are teaming up to squeeze extra performance out of the PlayStation 5 Pro and even have an exclusive marketing deal. Now, Defective Seeds has broken PlayStation news before, though some of his tips did unfortunately fall flat. Now, he says that this time he's hearing directly from a PlayStation engineer with a solid track record, but until Rockstar or Sony speaks up, just, treat this as an unconfirmed rumor. Why this thing even matters in first case. A high frame rate makes gameplays feel smoother and more responsive. In an incredible city like in Grand Theft Auto that you can expect, driving through the traffic or dodging bullets feels better at 60 FPS. If you care about a tight control and smooth visuals, running at a half a frame rate could be quite a drawback. And then, why also performance modes just make sense today in this market? Because, right, modern consoles often let you choose between image quality or a frame rate. And some of the PlayStation 5 titles you pick 30 FPS by quality mode or 60 FPS for the performance. And the PlayStation 5 Pro is rumored to support variable refresh rate or VRR. So instead of just a 60 FPS, you might even see the options like maybe going up to 70, 80 FPS. And Defective Seeds believes that Grand Theft Auto 6 on PlayStation 5 Pro will ship with multiple presets aimed at higher frame rate, while the regular PS5 and Xbox Series versions will be locked at 30 FPS. With the release of this game in May of 2026, that launch window, Grand Theft Auto 6 obviously will be expecting then. And still, this is about 10 months away. When it does land, it will be dominating gaming conversations. Industry analysts project as much as $7 billion in revenue in its first 2 months, which will be an eclipse even Grand Theft Auto 5's record-breaking sales of nearing, $10 billion over 6 years? Unbelievable. Here's just what Sony's plans in terms of the big PlayStation 5 system software update in early of 2026, like Mark Cerny, of PS5 lead architect, hinted it will unlock more processing power on all PS5's systems without hardware changes. So there's going to be some kind of substantial boost in terms of the PSSR on the PlayStation 5 Pro especially. And if true, developers could tap extra performance through software alone. Detective Seeds says that Rockstar is already optimizing Grand Theft Auto 6 to take advantage of that update, with Sony engineering on hand to guide them. Next year, you might spot gameplay recorded on the PlayStation 5 Pro on the trailers and streams. This isn't exactly new. Sony helped to boost titles like Black Myth Wukong behind the scenes, even if they never gonna admit it. Still, the idea is simple, help studios get the best performance, then use that edge to sell more consoles. Rockstar never gave Red Dead Redemption 2 a native 60 FPS patch on PlayStation 5, even though it sold over 37 million copies, unbelievable amount. Some insiders think that Sony might fund a free or maybe a low-cost update to unlock 60 FPS on PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, if it does happen, it will show exactly how these partnerships work and give Pro owners extra incentive to upgrade to that console. Now, many gamers think full performance should be standard across all platforms. Why pay more for a better frame rate? It's just like, on the other hand, consoles have offered performance modes for years. If you want top tier frame rate, buying higher end hardware has always been the norm, in PCs as well, so it's actually quite understandable. And then the PlayStation 5 Pro, obviously since it launched for a ridiculous amount of money and has, ticked up in terms of the price, it's a big spend. If you want every last frames from Grand Theft Auto 6, it just makes sense. Trading in your base PlayStation 5 could help offset the cost. Just remember that the frame rate targets often change during the development. Earlier leaks aren't exactly final guarantees. So if you want, maybe consider then in that case getting a PlayStation 5 Pro, because Grand Theft Auto 6 ain't coming on PC, at least not in 2026. And on top of that, Sony could be setting the stage for PlayStation 6, some perhaps rumored in 2027, 2028. More PlayStation 5 Pros out there means more homes ready for a higher setting on the next console via backwards compatibility. We saw something similar when PlayStation 4 Pro owners moved to PS5. They kept enjoying hiked performances on last-gen games. Right now, we wait for the official word from Rockstar or Sony. Game development is fluid, frame rates and resolutions shift during the testing. And until then, think about the matters most in your gaming: buttery smooth gameplay or saving money on base consoles. Will you be upgrading for Grand Theft Auto 6 to that PlayStation 5 Pro console, or stick with what you already got and hope for a universal patch? Do let me know down in the comments below, I'd love to read them. And in that case, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all, and yeah, have a wonderful day.